The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Morgs,
What's up?
Thundamentals.
Yeah, bro.
You're in town. You got your gig tonight
Yeah.
at the Gov, I think.
At the Gov, yeah.
And like you guys were here. I mean, I chopped it up with the fellas. I think not too long ago, like a few months ago.
Yeah.
So you guys are back.
Yeah, and we were back actually recently too for Fringe Festival.
Oh, for real?
We did Fringe Festival, yeah.
So that would have been only like a month ago or a few weeks
it was like
ago.
a month ago. It feels like I was just here.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, before that, yeah, it would have been end of last year.
And then, so this tour that you're doing now, I had a quick scan of the dates. A lot of dates. Big tour, a lot of regional spots. Is that like the biggest tour that you guys have done?
I think like as a one tour, it is the most dates we've kind of put on the one run. But I think maybe like back when we did that Hoods tour where we did the national, then we went to Europe, plus we're doing some of our own stuff. I think that may have been the longest stretch, but this one is equally as intense.
And so whereabouts into the tour are you guys?
Yeah,
now?
we're talking about this after not last weekend, the weekend before. We kind of finished this long run over in WA, and we went straight from doing Darwin and Alice Springs, and then we had a couple of days off in West Oz, and we had like a whole run of shows over the thing. We did 4 or 5, and at the end of that, we'd gone out so much, and it was such like this long slog. It kind of felt like it was the end of the tour, and then on the way back, we like I was looking through days, and they were like, "Oh, at least we're like a quarter of the way through," and I was like, "Nah, we ain't even a quarter." So I think it was around 38 dates, something like that, including a few little festivals that we got popping around, plus some DJ sets that we're doing, things like that.
That's hectic.
Yeah.
And how do you find like doing those, those big tours in terms of like the sleep, trying to get the sleep versus the partying? And
yeah, I suppose it just ends up happening. Like we all come in with good intentions, of like, we all want to be good boys and kind of, not get too turned up. But when, we get along really well with Be Wise and Classic, Adrian Eagles become a brother, and me, just want to talk to each other forever. Plus our tour manager, Andy, is super cool, bro as well. So we kind of all hype each other. Someone's always hyped to go out. So like, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, not tonight. Cause they're always like, oh, just come for a little bit. Or I got this popping, or someone's always got something going on in each place. So it's been real hard to get sleep and rest. But I cope all right. Once you get home, you just bang it out, bang out the sleep and go back on the road.
yeah, you got to, man.
Yeah.
Now, you are like one of the original members of Thundamentals.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit. I know that, all you guys are from the Blue Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to sort of meeting the other guys in the group, how did that sort of come about?
Yeah, well, I think me and Tucker, we kind of became friends through skateboarding. I think we used to skate a lot together for years, and we went to the same high school. And then actually, I think we really clicked when there was like a games arcade up in the Blue Mountains. And we were both pretty legit at Time Crisis 2. And we were both, doing whatever it took to get them dollar coins to play that game. And hustling, young 14-year-olds hustling to play that game. And then we started playing because it had 2-player. We both had records, first and second, on the solo tip, and then we started joining up, and we started just killing the Time Crisis game together. And that's where it all started with Tuck, I think. And then a few years later, when I was starting to try and DJ in some of the clubs up in the mountains and whatever, Jesse's older brother was a DJ, and he was doing drum and bass stuff. So I kind of was learning stuff off him. He was telling me, to learn to mix hip hop real good if I get into drum and bass, and he was lending me records. And then I kind of met Jesse through his older brother actually. And then Jesse was a rapper, getting into freestyling, whatever. And then I was getting into DJing and making beats and stuff, and Tucker was into similar things. So.
And then do you remember like the kind of moment where you guys came together and sort of had it in your heads like, okay, we're going to, do this group thing, do this rap thing, and actually try to take it somewhere?
I think we were kind of like, we had like you know the band Hiatus Coyote, the drummer from that, Perrin, he was also in Thundamentals at the start. He was my boy back then, and as well as Tommy Fiasco, who's now Silent Titan. He's doing an album with Pegs, the 10-year happening album. It's apparently it's finished and everything. And so Tom, he was kind of the first one. He was just like a year or two older, so he had turntables before us, a year before us. He got an MPC a year before us, so we kind of were learning a lot of him when we were young. This is, talking 16, 17. And then yeah, so we both got into it. Me and Perrin, we got into it, and we had like this 3-person DJ thing we were constantly trying to do, where like one person was scratching a beat, and then one person would do like a melody, and someone would have a bass line. And then we kind of like were converting that onto MPC and using those bits. And then I think there was like a competition in the Blue Mountains at the radio spot up there, and for like 3 hours in a professional studio, we're real hyped on that. So I think I'm pretty sure that happened before we ever did a show or ever really thought about being anything. We're just kind of like, oh, let's enter this and we'll get in a professional studio, which ended up being El Gusto's dad's studio, which we had access to in the later years anyway. But I don't think we ever used those 3 hours. We're not winning though. We're not taking it out. That track's probably still out there somewhere. I should dig it up. It'd be crazy. I remember my scratch section in it. I heard it like 5 years ago. I remember hearing my scratch section in it. And like, I didn't want to know what I was thinking back then. I was 17, but I just like let the scratch strip play for like a bit. And then I'd stop it and scratch for a bit. And then I'd let it play out, and you just hear the random sounds kind of
in between and shit. So yeah, it's something that you're listening to going, oh man, like put that shit away.
Yeah, like we had no editing. There was no editing. It was just like, here, record. You got one shot. And I was like, well, I need a sound that's at the start, and I need one that's a bit later. And I was like, let it play. So
Wow.
But then yeah, I think the first time we really had to like make up a name and stuff was we did a Muffin Platonic Support when they first came to the Blue Mountains. So we had to come up with a name, and we also came up with the name Connect 4 when there were 6 of us.
That's right. Yeah.
We had an extra guy as well who was just a homie, and we're like, yeah, you can be in it, whatever. We'll just have fun with it. So anyone that was down, we're like, yeah, just be in the band, whatever. So yeah, we ended up with 6 members in a group called Connect 4, but we only ever stayed for just that one show. But we did like, I think we had 3 MPCs, 3 turntables, 3 mixers. It was complicated. It was real complicated.
And so you guys originally had 6 people in the band.
Yeah.
But now it's 3.
Yeah.
So at which stages and what were the reasons behind, certain members going their own ways?
Yeah, yeah, Perrin, just amazing musician, just picking up everything so quickly and progressing super fast when we were young. He just went from like not knowing what he was doing to like just doing everything like real quick. And I think his aspirations were just different to ours. Like he was into a lot of Latin music. He was he was really into Latin music back then and jazz and stuff, and we were really on this kind of hip hop tip. So I think he it was kind of just natural for him. Yeah. To kind of go on his own journey. He started another band, and then that band was doing good at the time, so there just wasn't time, and he kind of slipped out. And then Fiasco, similar thing. He had different kind of views on where his life wanted to go as it started to get busier and busier, and we're all making sacrifices, and he kind of wanted a more stable life, I suppose. And at the time we were kind of like, we're going to really try and do this and like sacrifice having anything when we were younger. He wanted a car and stuff. We were like, we can't. A car, we're trying to make a hip hop track.
So you could invest that money into equipment or studio time or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, so it was kind of like, that was a bit of a weird one, to some degree, but he's still my boy, and it's all good now. But I think at the time it was awkward to kind of be like, yeah, what are you doing? Are you in? Are you out? And I think like when he first kind of was out from the live show, we thought he'd stick around and help out with the production, but he kind of wanted to take on his own path, which was cool.
And then recently Poncho went his own way as well. And that was an interesting one because that was to do with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
These-
well, I think there's a lot of reasons. People are never super easy to understand. Like, it's not. I'm sure it's not one reason.
Yeah.
And Poncho is like my boy till the end. Like, that's my brother for sure. So it was super hard to see him go from my point of view. The boys, they're still getting beats, whatever. But like that was my partner, and I kind of, he was in the band with Perrin as well, with from Highest Coyote, and then that band kind of disassembled, and he moved back up to the mountains, and then when I was doing For Evolution, I'd lost Fiasco, so I was doing it all on my own, and then I kind of needed a few extra bits, and he kind of got a little bit involved. I think we did one full production together on that. The track was called Sunday or something like that. I can't never remember the names of the songs. But yeah, so that's kind of how we started, and then yeah, when it came into So We Can Remember, he moved down to Sydney, and he was kind of still working up in the mountains a little bit and commuting to make some extra coin and whatever, and we were trying to do a lot of the production together. I think me and him did at least half the album, co-produced for that one. And then the next album we did completely 50-50 for Everyone We Know for the last one. That was all just me and him.
Yeah,
and
wow.
Yeah, so I got so used to having him around because he's a gun. Like, he's got this natural music inside of him. He trained from when he was young, and he was like a child prodigy.
Oh, wow.
Trumpet player. Yeah, he toured the world when he was like 13 or something with the James Morrison Jazz Band doing trumpet solos. Like, he was he was a young prodigy and just super talented. So he could always kind of, and we're on such the same tip that I would start doing something, he'd be like, "Yeah, I know what you're doing." He's like, "But it's more like this," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's what it is." Like, he was just, we worked super well because I come from just a hip hop background. I was always just trying to make stuff sound cool, however I could get it done. Whereas he could break it down musically for me a lot of the time. We had a good thing, and then we were touring a lot, and there's not a whole lot of money in this, and he was getting older, and and the music, he released a few songs under Poncho, and one of them, his first song he ever released, went gold. Like, obviously the dude is a freak. Like, he's got something, he knows what to do. But I think, he would have to tell you himself exactly with the reasons, but I think, he realized that musicians aren't making the money anymore, and I think he
had like other avenues.
Yeah, I think he
to
just
sort of
hated the industry a little bit towards the end. He's like, why's my song got 10 million streams on Spotify, and my record label is giving me, a couple $100, and like, where's all this money going? Like, I got a gold record, like, what's going on? So I think that mixed in with, kind of a few Bitcoin victories maybe, and just kind of, like those years when he started touring with us, becoming real fast into heavy touring, I think maybe it was just like, I want to break. That was kind of the way he put it to us. It was like, I just need some time just to work out what I'm going to do with my whole life. Am I going to stay here for a little bit of money forever, or am I going to try and, have
man, the music game is grueling.
Yeah.
At the best of times sometimes.
Totally. That's it.
But when I saw I don't know much about Bitcoin, but when I just read the headline and heard a little bit, I was like, yeah, word. I hear Bitcoin's popping now. So like,
bro, I was all on him. I was like, yeah, what do I do? What do I do? What do I buy? What do I buy? But, like, I just, I'm not much of a gambler or whatever. And I've always kind of tried to, I've learned over 10 years of not making much money to just kind of hold on to the little bit that I have and just chip away.
And then, so does that mean that pretty much all the production now is on you?
Yeah. We're making music constantly, but at the moment, it's all just 100% back to me trying to do it all.
And how does that feel? Having
It's
that
been
on
good.
you.
It's been real good. We've been writing a lot recently, just like naturally, just kind of let's just be in the studio all the time. We're doing it full time now, so whenever we got days, I'll get the boys around and we'll we'll start making tracks. It's been really good. It's been super natural and super easy, so I'm not too worried.
The lesson. 27. Oh yeah.